Hello, my name is William Swetcharnik, and my parents, Emily and CJ Sweat, sent 4 kids to Sandy Spring. I'm class, and my father, CJ, is here. My mom wasn't feeling up to it. They live at a friend's house. I'm class of '69, which I guess makes me honorary geezer. And I'm ready to start some slides. All right, this is my day job. I make art. And it's hard work to mount a museum show, really. Too much for a Sandy Springer who just wanted to be footloose. But I dutifully suffered through RISD and other art schools, put my nose to the grindstone, and started to make a difficult career as a portraitist trying to make rich people happy. I did lots of portrait paintings and sculptures, sometimes collaborating with my wife Sarah, also an artist. I enjoyed making money, but I didn't feel happy about being conflicted about it all the time. But I still do it sometimes. But I really wanted to be footloose. So I wangled a creative collaborative fellowship to Spain and then a senior Fulbright fellowship to Honduras for some art and social projects. Here we're in the Guyanese rainforest. In this project, the Inter-American Development Bank brought me artists and teachers from all over Guyana to make a mural representing their 3 main ethnic groups, demonstrating the use of local indigenous materials. And as it happens, I had made myself something of an expert with traditional native materials that can be found in abundance with special advantage for artists in a poor country. They are literally dirt cheap. Here, for example, is an assortment of mineral colors I gathered in El Salvador, the Dominican Republic, and Honduras, where I settled down for 7 years on a mountain in the Central Highlands. There are many simple methods for processing mineral colors, whether dirt, clay, or rock. Geezers like me often prefer soft rock. Okay. Remember the blue rocks we just saw? Well, this lady we're about to see, Maria Francisca, painted her whole house with the blue earth from the ground on which she is standing. Campesina women have been coloring their houses for centuries using local colors extracted from the earth. I spent a lot of time traveling the hinterlands to document this tradition of campesino painted houses. This lady's from Quebrada Seca at the other end of Honduras, from Maria Francisca. This is an indigenous art form that can be traced all the way back to pre-Columbian times. In fact, it is the only pictorial tradition that has survived the onslaught of modernity and Western commercial practices. It is a tradition that affirms important values of the indigenous environment, that make their homes something quite special, and not just on the exterior. We see the interior of the same house in the next slide. This campesine artist has decorated the interior wall of her house with an inscription that says, Dios es amor, up near the top, here seen above her baby in a blanket. This is a dramatic example of important continuities that are now disappearing. These continuities used to be associated with other kinds of artisanal life. Here, Desideria Perez, who makes enormous clay vessels, has written the inscription, Dios bendiga esta casa y los que la habitan. And also there's some parrots and other neat illustrations. So we use this tradition as the basis for reintroducing the use of indigenous materials and practices, for example, in schools that cannot afford expensive art materials. The schools, in turn, do mural projects to beautify their shanty towns or rural villages with cultural and environmental images. We helped launch dozens of projects throughout Central America and the Caribbean. But then, Hurricane Mitch hit Honduras. The eye of the hurricane circled around our mountain for 3 days, and a stream up the mountain turned into a torrent and brought down trees from the cloud forest. This farmer's fields were ruined, so I commissioned him to carve sections out of that huge tree to make large pillars and small tablets commemorating the natural disaster and human suffering that followed, using exposed earth colors that I extracted from the mountainside and the stream bed. The U.S. ambassador and his wife mounted a big exhibition for me, and the sale of these and other artworks were used to fund our ongoing art resource projects. I was commissioned to paint a portrait of the Honduran president, but my own favorite art from that period was portraits I did of the campesino kids up and down the mountainside. I used to hike up and down the mountains sketching and painting them, and I would use those same local earth colors for creating these artworks. Thank you.